It's Friday. You know what that means. Time to bake for the weekend. I'm only making 2 things today. This thing's choking me.
Cute. Yes, I like the gray light. That's cute.
We're gonna make pumpkin snickerdoodle brownies or blondies, whatever you want to call them, and angel biscuits. These are gonna be for breakfast in the morning. I'm probably gonna make some bacon, country ham, different things, and have like a biscuit buffet for breakfast in the morning. So we're gonna go ahead and make the biscuits today, so we don't have to do that early in the morning. It's choking me again. All right, so we're gonna start with the biscuits because they are gonna do a 1-hour rise because we use a pack of dry yeast for these. So we'll start with those, get that made. While they're rising, we'll make the pumpkin snickerdoodle brownies. The angel biscuits are coming from the Taste of Home Fall Baking Cookbook that we got from Ollie's a couple of weeks ago. This person said these biscuits are fantastic. I made half a batch just to try them and I was really impressed. They rose beautifully and were the perfect texture. I'm only gonna make half a batch too because the full batch makes 2.5 dozen. We're just gonna make 1 batch for this first time trying them. And the person that the recipe came from says, I first received these light, wonderful biscuits along with the recipe from an elderly gentleman friend. I bake them often as a Saturday morning treat with butter and honey. They're perfect with sausage gravy and for sandwiches too. This one looks really good. It looks like they've got some black forest ham on there, cheese, lettuce, and some kind of pepper seed jelly or something maybe. I don't know. It looks good. Let me grab everything real quick. We need 1 pack of yeast and some warm water at first. Now, like I said, I'm cutting this in half. I'll put the full recipe down below for y'all though. I went ahead and cut it in half and wrote it in the recipe book here. So we need 1 pack of yeast. I'm gonna put that in this little bowl and 1/8 of a cup of warm water. There's the water. And 1 pack of active dry yeast. We'll stir this a little bit and just sit it over to the side while we get the other stuff ready real quick. So I've got the oven preheating to 350 because that's what the brownies are gonna cook at. We're gonna use the KitchenAid to mix up the biscuits. We had to start another fire again this morning, y'all. It was in the 30s again. In here, we're gonna put 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. We need a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's fine. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. 2 tablespoons of sugar. All right. Ooh, my paddle fell off. Okay, I've got the warm buttermilk right here. We're gonna take the yeast mixture and pour it in here with the buttermilk. See how frothy and stuff it started to get? That's what you want. Foamy. We're gonna pour this in. I'll let it start mixing. Ooh, that's too fast. That's okay. And the last thing we need is 1/2 cup of shortening. I'm just gonna eyeball this. Speed it up a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna put some flour down right here on the counter. Okay, we're gonna knead it just a little bit.
Is it this one with waspers?
That one will be fun.
Ooh, that looks fluffy.
Okay, this is a very fluffy, pretty dough. I think it's gonna make really flaky, fluffy biscuits. Let me grab my roller. We got 15. We're gonna cover this and let them rise for 1 hour. The first thing we need for the brownies is 2 sticks of melted butter. So I'm just gonna put these in this measuring cup and stick them in the microwave. Okay, while that's melting, we're putting in 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1/2 a cup of white sugar. Mix that together. We need 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Okay, we need 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. And let's see, we need 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Where did I put that baking powder? There it is. Here we go. And a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. Can you tell me what that last thing says, Cece? Did it say cinnamon or nutmeg? I can't remember.
Cinnamon.
Is there any nutmeg on there?
No.
Over here? Okay. Okay, for this part we need 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, and then we still need cinnamon for the topping in a minute, so we'll just leave that out. Alright, now we're putting in 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of pumpkin. That's pretty much what we have in here, so we're just going to put this whole jar in. Okay, and then the melted butter. Okay, we just mix all this together. Cece spraying the casserole dish for me. I'm using an 8x11. Okay, we're gonna put it into the casserole dish. It's super thick, so you really have to work with it here. Okay, now I'm gonna take my hands, let me just get a little bit of that cooking spray on there and press, because I think that's gonna be easier than trying to do it with the other thing. Yeah, that's much easier. Now we're just gonna mix a couple of tablespoons of sugar with some cinnamon and sprinkle that over the top, and then they're going in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. What kind of biscuit do we want to taste test? Jelly, butter and jelly?
Yes.
We'll go with Bell's Bodacious Blackberry Jam. Okay, everybody get a piece. I just want to show y'all the fluffiness. That is seriously, no joke, I think I think this tops my other buttermilk biscuit recipe. These are great. Definitely try these angel biscuits. And I cooked mine at 425, not 450, because my oven, you know, it could angry cook. But it said 450 for 8 to 10 minutes. I just did 425 for 10 minutes. And you see mine are nice and brown on the bottom, a little bit more brown than I would like for them to be on the bottom, but not too bad. They're not burnt, they're just extra brown on the bottom. They take a little more time because of, you know, all the ingredients in them, but they're definitely worth it. Next taste test, pumpkin Snickerdoodle Brownies. There you go, Jonah, Sissy. Look at that. Both of these are extremely wonderful. It's definitely a cakey but also chewy brownie type, but it's really good. Happy Friday and happy fall. See ya.